going on, guys? Manny Bardo here, and today we're going to talk about my top 8 Pokemon that I think can make great basketball players. Yep, this is what I've been doing in my life recently, but sit back, relax, and you owe me £1.10 for the Tesco's popcorn. But just before we move on to that list, I'm going to go for the rules and the restrictions. Just before you start commenting below, oh, but a lonely executor can dunk from his own side of the court by using his face, or Mew can teleport from one side to the other, or maybe Dunsparce can do, what does Dunsparce do? I don't know. Also, please be sure to give this video a like or a dislike, and subscribe if you want more content. Rules and restrictions. Number 1. A Pokemon must at least require 2 sets of limbs that can resemble hands. So Pokemon such as Gyarados, Mightyena, and Pidgeot cannot qualify for the list. Number 2. A Pokemon can only use 2 of their hands. But Pokemon with more than 2 hands, such as Machamp, can still qualify for the list, but are still restricted to using 2 of their hands. Number 3. The Pokemon must only have 2 feet, so that the rules of travelling still applies. Which means Pokemon with more or less than 2 legs, such as Manectric, Spoink, and Venusaur, cannot qualify for the list. Sorry, Spoink. Number 4. Pokemon using powers or abilities, which means there's no flying, teleporting, stat boosting, and burning others. I'll be purely judging these Pokemon on strength, speed, stamina, and Corby. Also, I'm adding in a rule. There's no legendary Pokemon, because they just ruin everything. Right, I think I've cleared all the boring parts up, so let's begin. Number 8! Okay, so I don't really have much reasoning for Lucario to be number 8 on my list, but actually, can I just quickly say something before we move on? As video editing and graphics go, yeah, this is as good as it's gonna get. Like, I literally just kind of whipped this up in PowerPoint. I don't really know what I'm doing. I haven't really got my new PC yet. But anyway, back to Lucario. So this not really pseudo legendary Pokemon is at the bottom of my list, for the main reason that a lot of Pokemon are going to be on this list. As you can see, it's got a very humanoid shape, which is going to help a lot in this situation. But even still, with its speed, offense, and will to be Goku, it just scrapes the bottom of my list. Okay, let's see. I think Lucario would suit a small forward position with a 2K rating of 76 and an award history of most improved player.
Number 7.
Okay guys, I think we have to face the fact that Primates are probably going to take over basketball soon and start making like the PBA. But I think Persimmon would make a great suit to this list because of the green coconut that it carries. Like, I could just imagine it practices with it every day, just balling in the Alola region. And with its lemur-like fluidity, I can imagine it being a great ball handler with a few crossover moves up its sleeve. And you also can't deny that it's going to get great airtime from the jumping power of its springs for legs. Some of you probably consider Persimmon to walk on 4 legs, but I'm pretty sure it's definitely capable of walking on 2, so it makes number 7 on my list. So I think it's pretty clear that Persimmon should suit the point guard position with a 2K rating of 79 and awards history of Skills Challenge winner. Number 7. I mean 6. Even though Golok would be slow, it would undoubtedly be a dominant force on the offense and a rock on the defense. It would definitely be one of the hardest Pokemon to get around, and good luck trying to steal the ball off of him, even if you were Avery Bradley, which should not, so don't even bother. But the main reason that Golok is number 6 on my list is because it's the tallest Pokemon within the restrictions, and that's pretty tough to beat. If Golok was on my team, I would probably put him at the center position with a 2K rating of 83 and awards history of one-time All-Star. Probably one of the fastest Pokemon that's going to be on this list, the Sly Raccoon, the crossover for days, Salazzle. Remember less than a minute ago when I said no one could steal the ball off of Golok? Yeah, scrap that, because Randolph from Monsters Inc. is so crafty, you literally won't even see it coming. It would just be like that. I clicked my fingers, you probably couldn't see that. If I was to compare Salazzle to an NBA player, it'd probably have to be Derrick Rose. You know, before he got that leg injury. Oh man, I feel so sorry for Derrick Rose. The last thing I would say is, never look up Salazzle on Google Images. Like, I know you're doing it now, but please just don't. Honestly, don't. With great ball handling skills, Salazzle would go point guard with a 2K rating of 84 and an awards history of 2-time All-Star and Rookie of the Year. If you ask me, I'd say Medicham is probably going to be one of the better. If you ask me, I'd say Medicham is going to be one of the best shooters on this list due to its concentration and meditation skills. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, but wait, I thought you're not allowed to use powers, Manny Bardo. And why are you making this top 10 video that no one cares about, Manny Bardo? And when are you going to get that new PC, Manny Bardo? What a stupid f***ing name. Whoa. It's cool, guys, don't worry. I can answer all 2 of those questions. Number 1, I like Pokemon, and I like basketball, so f*** you. And number 2, I don't really count meditation as an ability or a power, since we can just do that ourselves. But after all those hours of meditation and yoga, I can definitely imagine Medicham being clutch on the 3-point line just like Steph Curry. Get a load of that baby face, girls. I think it's pretty obvious that Medicham's going to be a shooting guard with a 2K rating of 89 and an award history of 2-time All-Star and 3-point contest winner. Ah yes, the one you've been waiting for. The all-American, high school jock, children's icon, ladies' man, possible steroids taker, Machamp. There's not really much you could say about why you think Machamp would make a great basketball player. I mean, just look at him. He's a natural player, an all-around player. Great on offense, great on defense. And as I said in the rules and restrictions, Machamp is definitely allowed on this list, as long as he only restricts himself to using 2 hands. I'm thinking with powers such as Machamp, he's got to go power forward. With a 2K rating of 90 and an award history of 1-time champion, 4-time All-Star, and dunk contest winner. Number two. I don't think there was going to be any doubt in anyone's mind that Snorlax was not going to be on this list. I mean, just look at him. He's a pretty big guy. You could just literally put him in the post, one-on-one with anyone, and he would just go to town on them like Shaquille O'Neal. He's pretty much just the better version of Golok. No offense. And if you're going to play defense, then Snorlax would definitely suit the role of the man in the middle of a 2-3 zone defense strategy. I mean, what are you going to try and do when you've just got this big blob protecting the rim? You have nowhere to go. He may be more slower and less mobile than Golem, but I mean, as I said, just put him in the post, give him the ball, job's a good one. Just make sure Snorlax hasn't eaten a lot before he gets on the court, because you will have to drag him pretty much for the entire game. Snorlax would definitely suit the center position with a 2K rating of 93 and an awards history of 3-time champion, 1-time MVP, 6-time All-Star, and Rookie of the Year. So why is Snorlax not number 1? Well, you're just going to have to find out. But before we do that, I'm going to go through some honorable mentions. Cool, yeah, number 1. Yeah, here it is. One of the most iconic faces in the Pokemon industry, loved and hated by everyone, the king of mainstream. That's right, number 1 is Incineroar. What, did you expect someone else? One of the main things I've noticed about Incineroar is, look how long those arms are. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. If you look at Vic Trivian's theory, it states that your wingspan should be the same distance as your height. Well, most of the time anyway. But looking at Incineroar, his arms go way beyond that, and that'll definitely be a big help in basketball. Incineroar's arms isn't the only thing that looks big in comparison to his body. Oh my god, whoa, stop, no, I meant his hands. I mean, like, just look at them. They're massive. He could probably cover the whole ball with just one of his hands, which would be a big help protecting the ball when you're trying to do a layup or a dunk. Like Machamp, Incineroar just looks like a natural athlete where he would be good on offense and defense and pretty speedy, maybe? Well, his stats don't really say that story, but this is my story. And when you play man-to-man defense, you'll notice straight away how fucking intimidating his face is. Oh god, I can't even look at it. Just change the picture, something better. There we go. So an all-rounder like Incineroar definitely deserves a small forward position with an impressive 2K rating of 97 and an award history of 5-time champion, 3-time MVP, 10-time All-Star, and of course Rookie of the Year. So that's it. Agree or disagree with the list? Why don't you tell me your top 8 or top 10 Pokemon that you think could make great basketball players? Thank you so much guys for watching. I really appreciate you checking out this video, even though I don't really have the equipment to make a video like this. But please show a like or a dislike, and please subscribe if you want more content. PC will be coming soon.